Well, hello, everybody. Cathy here for Wisdom from the Word today. And when we have troubles of any kind, we can look at it a couple of ways. It could destroy us or it could build us. It could be a life lesson. There's many things that troubles can bring. But anything that happens in our lives, one thing we can know for sure is that God is always there for us. Always, always. When we're in trouble, this is what he says. He says he is our refuge. He is our strength. He is a very present help in times of trouble. So that's from Psalms 46, verse 1. Now, troubles will come because that's how this world works. And, there's all sorts of them, whether you're a child that's just learning, a baby that's learning to crawl and they can't reach something or just learning to crawl, that's trouble for them. Or you're a 2-year-old and somebody just took your toy. That's trouble. Or your mom said, no, that's trouble, right? There's lots of things that we see as trouble. And it's so true that as you get bigger, the problems get bigger too, for the most part. I know some kids go through some pretty big problems too. But when those troubles come, we can turn to the Lord. And we need to turn to the Lord. So I just ask you to put in the comments, do you turn to the Lord in times of trouble? And if you do, how do you do that? What does that mean to you? I remember that picture from years and years ago. And here you've got Peter walking on the water. And then Jesus reaches out his hand to Peter because Peter was in trouble. He was drowning. And maybe today you feel like that. You're drowning in your troubles, whether they're financial or whether they're troubles that are in relationships or whether they're troubles in your home, your employment, or troubles with the way that you eat or other addictions. Maybe there's troubles there. Jesus is reaching out his hand to you right now. And he says, I'm not going to let you slip. Just come to me. Come to me. I will help you. And how do we come to him? How about pausing in that moment and saying, Lord, I need you? How about going somewhere else, connecting in nature and saying, Lord, thank you. Getting your mind off of the things that have been tearing you down and putting your mind on Christ, putting your mind on the things of the Lord. What does he have for you to do today rather than the things that I'm just focusing on? Where your focus goes, that's where you go. So if your focus is on your past failures, that's where you go. If your focus is on the Lord, that's where you go. If your focus is on, yes, Lord, I can do it because you are my strength in times of trouble. You're there for me. A lot of our battles, in fact, all our battles pretty much, they're in the mind. And what he's doing right now is he is reaching out his arm to you and he's saying, don't sit there. Don't sit there just crying and wallowing in whatever you've been going through, because that won't bring any help to you. Cry out to me and say, Lord, I need you. Show me the path that I should walk today. Don't worry about tomorrow, where you're going tomorrow. The path that you should walk today. What is that? Well, starting with your focus. Gratitude. Gratitude is the power that's going to take you far. Being grateful that you have breath, that you have life, that you can see if you can see, or stand or hear, that you have family or friends, or as I have looking at me on my lap, which you probably can't see here, is a little kitty cat looking at me and just smiling away. Yeah. In fact, the second I started to record this, the cat decided this is a good time to sit with mommy. All right. It's all good. But be grateful for what you do have. When you're on an eating plan, because usually that's where I focus here, is we're going through addictions. We put ourselves on an eating plan, or one hopefully that's been directed by the Lord. And maybe it gets too hard to cope with the plan. Maybe you're thinking, oh, yeah, but I just really need to have a chocolate bar. You actually don't need to have a chocolate bar. What you need is the Lord, or connection to people, maybe some sleep. Maybe it's, maybe you need to get up and just move. Talk about movement. I got to share something with you, something that's kind of new for me, very new for me, actually. I found this app on my phone. It's called a repeat timer. Simple little thing, and there's a free version. I like free versions, so I don't mind shouting out this app. It is the coolest thing. You can even put the title in the top of what you want for your nap. Your nap could for your nap. Never mind naps. For your little break that you're going to be taking. And you could say, connect with God. I've got it down as a fitness snack. Now, fitness snack could mean many things, but for me, what it means is I need to get up and I need to move, because too often I can sit in my chair hours on end. I can just write. I can watch videos. I can do all kinds of things. I can host meetings, all from my chair. And for many of us, life has gotten too easy like that. So what happens with this app is that every 59 minutes, I have it set, and then I take 5 minutes out. In that 5 minutes out, I'll do whatever I need to do quickly if I need to go to the bathroom or something, but I'll move. And that can be any kind of movement. So I have a stationary bike that I have in my living room right now that I can use that. If I want, I can do a few floor exercises or use a TheraBall. TheraBall is one of those big, big balls, and there's all sorts of exercises that you can do over that. I could walk on the spot, jump on the spot, do push-ups against the counter, or real push-ups if you're able to do that. Do push-ups with a TheraBall. There are so many things that can be done. Resistance bands, or using, what else do I have? I have some weights right here beside me. Many things that you could do, but I'm doing a fitness break. And you could do whatever kind of break you want. Maybe it's a break that tells you that you need to just drink some water because you tend to ignore that. Or a break that you need to spend some time and just pray or read a verse. Or maybe you're memorizing a verse every day. That's a great activity too. I like to start my day in the Word. Sometimes during the night, I'm also listening to the Word. But as I'm sleeping, which is an experience, because I've lived in the Word while I'm sleeping, which is really cool. You ever want to walk with Jesus in your dreams? Listen, just make sure you've got the right chapter of the Bible, because I've had some weird dreams too when I get into the wrong chapter. Of course, I'm a light sleeper, so maybe that's just me. But I do encourage you, use that app, or use whatever works for you. And remember that in those times of trouble, that you have a place to go, that you can turn to the Lord. Do it regularly. Life is full of troubles. So when things get hard, He's there for you. He's reaching down with His hand to help you. Sometimes we say to ourselves, I don't need any help. I can do it myself. Well, that's like your 2-year-old self speaking. Me do, right? I know I can get into that for sure. But God's there to help you. He has a way where there seems to be no way. It doesn't matter what you're going through, whether it's a terminal cancer diagnosis, or whether it's your lost keys, whichever. He is there for you. And I really want you to know that, and that He'll never leave you. He will never forsake you. He'll always be there for you. If you'd like to, when things get tough, let's just turn to Him. Just turn to Him, and He'll make a way where there seems to be no way. He is your refuge. He is your strength. He is a help in times of trouble. So I also want to mention, since I'm here, that we do meet every Thursday at noon. We have a carnivore or keto meeting. talk about those things. You don't actually have to be that to come, but if you're curious, you're welcome. If you're doing a keto or carnivore or trying to improve your health through lifestyle, you're welcome to come. And that is a private meeting at this time anyway. It's not recorded, but just we talk about science. We talk about what's happening out there. We talk about what God's doing in our life. And there's so many interesting things that come out. It's a learning experience. Everyone brings in what they learned that week, and we share our learning. And then at 7:00 on Thursdays, we have the Kingdom Way. So the Kingdom Way is a book that I wrote many years ago, and it talks about letting go of the weights that are in your life, the things that are holding you back from running the race that God has for you, from fulfilling His purposes, His plan. So those weights can be emotional, they can be mental, they can be physical weights, any of that. What's holding you back? Put that in the comments too. And what step are you going to take today? One step I welcome you to do is come join one of those meetings. They're absolutely free. There is no strings attached. I know that's rare, but it's just a ministry because I want to help you. And we meet in my Zoom room, which is room 499-365-9481. And the passcode to get in is 123456. Can't get any easier than that. So I hope that maybe you can make it to one of those. And the other thing that you can find in the show notes below is a course. Now, there's 2 of them. Right now, I'm running a course. I won't be running it again till January 2025. And this, because I know January, that's when people start to focus on changing life. Right? That's how that happens. But anyway, sign up for the 4-week course. It starts. We've got one doing it's already going. So this is outdated. Sorry about that. But there's also a self-directed option that's available. So you can do that on your time when you want, and God will speak to you through the course. There's been many, many testimonies of lives that are changed, of people that have been trying to break addiction that have not been able to break addiction. They didn't even know what God was saying to them, but this helped them to recognize what God was saying to them. And then it's up to us to be obedient to that, but He will help us because He is a very present help in times of trouble. God bless you all. Thank you for being here. And I will see you again next week, Wednesday. Perhaps in between, I've got something else kind of brewing in that I'd like to share, but it's just not there yet. So, bye. Thanks for being here.